Hi, my name's John. Welcome to Daily Theology. If this is your first time here, I post short daily videos about current events and theology to help equip and inspire you to share hope. So please subscribe below to help us reach more people and so that you don't miss future videos like this one. Now, at a time like this, we're going to face financial uncertainty, or at least at some point in our lives. And so I wanted to take a minute and get you to consider the stupidity of student loan debt. It is never a good idea and should be avoided at all costs. So please check this out.
Student loans and the culture of debt in the United States are out of control. In fact, if Moses were a seminary finance prof, his bumper sticker would say, "Let my people go." This is because seminaries in the United States are operating like the world when it comes to student loans. Why do I say this? Well, for the past 12 years, I've lived and breathed the retirement plan financial services industry. I've seen every side of our nation's financial quest for more. Leverage is our love language in this wacky society of indebted bondservants, which is why it's irritating that many Christian universities and seminaries that purport to be making disciples load students down with unbearable debt. Yes, unbearable. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender, Proverbs 22:7. The average college student that graduated in 2017, get this, had a whopping $37,132 of student loan debt. I'm not sure exactly how much it costs to make the movie Waterworld, but this has to be close. No big deal, you say. Wrong. Many students don't have the financial discipline, earning capacity, or strategy to pay this back. So they will slink along for 15 plus years, throwing everything they can at this John Bunyan Pilgrim's Progress-sized burden. If this sounds like a bad plan, it is. Enslaving the next generation of ministry workers is not a good plan. It is a horrible plan. Teaching kids that debt is good and normative is a terrible idea. What's worse is seminaries are presuming God wanted disciples of Christ to go into debt so that they could get educated. Removing a would-be future ministry leader from their local body does not make much sense. This is the one group of people that actually know their character. Warning, rant ahead. What's more, this assembly line approach to discipleship and training is not helping our inability to make disciples that can make disciples. Jesus did not mass-produce disciples. He spent 3 years living life, evangelizing, teaching, healing, and opposing false teachers with a core group of 12 guys. Break out your TI-83. That's a financial calculator for nerds. Buckle up. It's about to get bumpy. Consider this. The cost for Southern Seminary was a staggering $560 per credit hour in 2016, according to a tuition comparison chart found from DTS. Multiply that by 88 hours for an MDiv, and you get $49,280. How many 22-year-olds do you know with little work experience and zero business training that have the ability to make $49,280 while going to school full-time? By the way, this total does not include food or living expenses. And remember, the average graduating college student already has $37,132 in student loan debt. If your head isn't spinning yet, it should be. Don't worry though, it will sit there deferred, racking up interest while you attend seminary. You don't understand. It's competitive out there. To properly train these students, we need to pay our professors well, and it's expensive to upkeep the buildings, books, accreditations, etc., which is exactly why this model does not work. This is why leverage, aka debt, is needed to keep it operating. This passes the burden from the bloated trading system onto the student and hampers their future ability to make disciples, lead, and speak with any authority in regard to money. Love of money sits quietly on the throne of the hearts of millions in our pews, while most pastors remain silent. They don't want to violate Matthew 5:1-5, right? Imagine this. Philip, come follow me, but first, go to Matthew and ask him for a low-interest 20-year loan to cover your next 3 years of living, food, books, and classroom costs. Also, you'll need to finance the boat that we'll be taking across the Sea of Galilee, and save a little for Passover in the upper room, and don't forget the donkey rental fee. This is, of course, ridiculous. It's unbiblical at best. This monstrosity of a cost also places an incredible burden on the people of God to support a mortgage-sized debt in the future. With training like this, is it any wonder that so many churches in the U.S. are deeply in debt? Is it any wonder most of our operating budget isn't geared toward reaching the lost, but to salaries and building costs? Perhaps it sounds like I'm against seminary, formal education, church buildings, and the movie Waterworld. I'm not. Proper theology is the foundation of any ministry and is essential. What I am against is going into 20 plus years of debt in order to receive that education. The cost of education in this country is out of control. Christian universities and seminaries should not be mirroring the world's thinking and tactics in this regard because we have the mind of Christ. Here's the solution. The church should be taking responsibility to train up workers from our local congregations. Seminaries have an unbiblical view of student loan debt, and it's stymieing our ability to reach the lost. Debt is an undeniable factor when you consider that less than 6.5% of churches in the U.S. are growing through new conversions. This is in part because no one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. Thanks for reading. If you have a question or would like me to try to explain the present value of eternity received by the power of the gospel, leave a comment below. God bless.